coconuts are farmed in canals, which I think is really interesting. So there's, rows of trees, and then in between the rows, there's these water canals. And that's because we harvest young coconuts. And so if they were to fall onto the ground when you cut them off, they would bruise and damage. And so they drop into the water and then they collect along the canals. It's really cool. We actually just refreshed our mission webpage on our website yesterday. And so there's a lot of great new imagery that the team captured from some of our regenerative photo shoots. But these beautiful canals. But we actually learned that 46% of our greenhouse gas emissions come from the coconut farms themselves, which I think blows people's minds. You're like, how can the farm be this? Like, you're shipping coconut water from Thailand to the US. Surely it's your shipping. And it's like, actually, logistics are like 5% of our emissions. But what's happening is all of the plant waste is falling into the canals and then decomposing and releasing methane, or you have other farm waste on the property that's not necessarily being utilized well and decomposing and causing emissions. And so how do we introduce fish into the canals to control some of that waste, to control the duckweed as well, and help make sure that the erosion elements and all of just a completely healthy ecosystem. And then the farmers can sell the fish, right? Like, how can we think about complete circularity on the farm in ways that help us achieve our regenerative goals, but also help us achieve our climate goals? Because we do believe that regenerative agriculture is going to be a huge enabler for us in reaching net zero, which is our ultimate climate goal. We did evaluate the practices against their benefits to the ecosystem, their benefits on the soil, their benefits on climate, and then their financial return for farmers. And I think we did learn that 3 rose to the top and really checked all 4 of those boxes. And that was in turning the farm residue into compost, implementing cover cropping, and then implementing intercropping. I think those were the best bang for the buck that we were able to see. And so those are definitely things that we're continuing to push forward, but it all depends on the farmer's needs, right? We work with over 300 farms. Some of them are small, some of them are bigger. You don't have this overwhelmingly industrialized agriculture in Thailand that you do here in the US. You really are on the ground working with the individual farms, or our agronomists are, and saying, okay, well, actually, you need more pollinator penetration. And so let's get stingless bees onto your property. Let's look at vermicompost. Maybe those are more impactful for you than the big 3 that work at some of the other farms. So it really is customized, tailored, sort of farm by farm basis. And I think there's beauty in that, but there's, challenges in that too. It's more resource intensive to really bring folks along on the journey.